She's back after winning the prestigious national award for her role in the film Thiruchitrambalam. Am I saying it right?
Yes.
Welcome Nithya Menen to NDTV.
Thank you so much.
Let's start with this. Being there on stage, getting the award, the national award, what was it like being on stage, meeting your uh, fellow, fellow colleagues from different parts of the country, and what was your parents' reaction when they got to know that our daughter is getting a national award?
I didn't speak to my parents about it until the next day, I think, because I was in the middle of a script discussion and I had my writer and my producer and all that, and we were going to talk about something and all that. So that went on the whole day. And then at night I had to reply to all this. The next day I was flying to Bombay for my friend's engagement. So it was a mad, crazy time, and I didn't sleep for 2 days or something, like properly. And yeah, that it was a crazy time. So I spoke to my parents only the next day, and they were also very surprised and everything, but I think they are super thrilled and proud, of course. Being on stage, I got to meet people that I may not have met otherwise, and it was a very nice feeling. I loved seeing so many people from my country, right? Like Assamese, Gujarati, and how we were all coming together. I met Mansi, who was with me.
Yes.
Yeah, so I offered to like drop them, and so we were all sitting together and we were all talking, and it was so nice that here's this Gujarati industry and I'm from the south, and we would probably have never met, but it was so nice to meet them all over there.
Over there, right? Let's talk about the film. Why are you saying that you were surprised? Because it is such a critically acclaimed film and everybody loved your performance.
I was not surprised about the film, but
why didn't you see it coming that you might get a national award?
I didn't see it coming because I think I was getting kind of prepared to never get the usual recognition as anyone else. I decided that I want to do the kind of films that will leave people happy at the end of watching it. I've always tried to search for a purpose. Why am I here? What can I do beyond just cinema to contribute, right, while we are here on earth? And so I felt that I cannot do films that leave people disturbed or leave them sad or leave them crying. Let me not do that. Let me do lighter things, because there was phases in my life where things were so difficult, and it was the light films that kept me. I clung on to them, like to help me from drowning. So that time I realized the impact and the depth in lighter films, that it can do much more than people think it can. So I wanted to do that. So I've always chosen to do the kind of films that may not be chosen for these things, and I was okay with that. I spoke to myself and I said, Nithya, you decide. What do you want? Do you want the so-called recognitions and the awards and stuff, or do you want to leave something actually real in this world when you go? And I said, okay, no problem, I will do this. But it's for me, doing this, if I have been able to convince people that I am good enough an actor, then that's a huge.
Nithya, we have seen such great movies coming out of Malayalam cinema, and this year that's the only film industry that is doing great, and everybody else is struggling. Clearly you guys have all the content there, but I also want to know, as a woman, when you are choosing a film, what are the pointers that you think? Do you think that how it will affect my audience, how the woman is portrayed in it, what role am I playing, even if it doesn't matter if it's a main character or not? What are these different things that you keep in mind when you're saying yes to a character or a film?
So because I was never trying to be an actor. I really didn't think I would be in the entertainment business of all. I really,
Guys, she wanted to be a pilot.
yeah,
Justify it.
I want to be a lot of other things, but I would have run a company. I would have done an MBA, and that feels like me. But so because I didn't want uh, the attention or the fame, so the reasons why I would do this became a little more deeper. So the first thing I always look at is what is the impact. It is a responsibility, like I feel that from where I'm standing, that I'm able to impact people. Let me use this opportunity, and let me put out something there which can make a positive impact. So I definitely see that. How will this impact people? How will this impact the world? That's definitely one. And I think I naturally gravitate towards things with depth, because I'm not very superficial. So when I see things or characters or writing that's superficial, I immediately know, and it doesn't work for me. It has to be something more. So it's just naturally attracting those kind of things. Yeah.
Nithya, you are a Malayali girl born and brought up in Bangalore, and I also know that you know a lot of languages. Is that something that you just enjoy and that's why you pick up languages? Or what is this love for languages? 6
Yeah.
6 languages?
Yeah.
Tell me.
And I'm studying a 7th also.
Oh, you're studying a 7th also. Okay, tell me which all you know. Kannada?
All this, yeah, like
Malayalam.
Kannada, Tamil, Telugu, Malayalam, in Hindi and English. Yeah.
And what are you learning better?
I learn Spanish whenever I get time. I love it. I'm a very Spanish soul. I always feel very Latina.
You feel Latina, I feel you're very bong.
Yeah.
So don't you guys agree? Look at her. She looks so Bengali.
I so want to do a Bengali film.
You should. I think
really do.
When you go to Calcutta or anywhere in Bengal, people will assume that you're Bengali.
Yeah.
You just look like that. Has anybody come and told you?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. I myself feel that way. When I see old Bengali films by the legend directors, I feel I would have so been good at this. I should have been born like 40 years ago. That would have been perfect for me. I would have fit right in those films. I think
all the directors and producers from Bengal who are listening to this,
yeah.
Bengali film. She needs to be in a Bengali film.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Vidya is one person who people mistake her to be a Bengali.
Yeah.
But you are, I think, the next one. But tell me about, Carmel College in Bangalore, having a life there, and then deciding that I want to be a wildlife journalist. I want to be a pilot. What else, Nithya? What else? Am I missing out on anything?
So, yeah, about languages, because you were asking. Being in Bangalore, having born there and having parents who were born there and stuff, we were naturally in a very multilingual kind of setup. And only we will understand that. Only Bangaloreans will get what it means to be in a multilingual place. Maybe Bombay is one more place where people will understand that.
I was just telling you, my daughter, she knows Kannada, Tulu, Marathi, Gujarati, Bengali. Not Bengali much, but English, Hindi.
Yeah.
So,
at 5 years old.
Yeah, because all these people, we all live in a...
Exactly. So, we've always been in there. My parents speak as many languages. They speak 4 languages or so, 4-5 languages. So, we're around that kind of an environment and, stuff like that. And there's this natural liking for me to learn new languages. When I hear it, I feel, like, oh my God, I want to speak this. What is this new, beautiful... I feel that about Bengali a lot. I feel that about Marathi. Like, I love the way it sounds in my ear and I want to speak it. So, I tend to learn. But, Bangalore. So, I studied in Mount Carmel College, and then I decided, what do I want to do? And I was very adventurous and I wanted to be on the field and everything. So I said, I think I'm going to be a war journalist. And then,
War journalist.
yeah, so I went and studied journalism in Manipal Institute, Manipal, Karnataka.
I studied in Christ College just FYI.
Oh, okay.
Yes, Mount Carmel
and
and Christ. Yes.
Yeah, so you get it.
Yes.
But yeah, so I studied in Manipal, and but yeah, finally here I am.
Yes, but you know, you have been acting since you were 8 years old.
Well, I did one film
Yeah.
actually when I was 8.
But how can you not assume that I am going to be an
It was a very isolated event, and I really thought it was going to be an isolated event in my life. It happened at 8. There was one film, and it was a French film. It was like an Indo-French film. And after that, I mean, I didn't act, and then, it was much later. So I thought it was a one-off thing. Even when I did my first Malayalam film, I thought it was just a one-off thing. They were shooting in London, so that's
Yeah.
why I went. Because I wanted to go out of the country for the first time in my life. So I said, I get to see London. I'll come. I'll do
cute.
it. So I was 16, I think. So that's why I went. So I thought, again, isolated event. But I thought I'll come back and I'll study. I always thought I would study a lot. Like I would definitely do a master's. I would definitely do something more. I would do multiple master's degrees, and yeah.
You know, you have worked with some of the biggest name in the industry. Tell me, how do you see yourself as a woman working in a film industry? You know, when it comes to safety, women are not safe anywhere. Forget about any industry. But how do you see it, how we are going ahead with it?
To be very honest with you, I have never felt unsafe anywhere. Nobody is going to attack you. You're actually very protected in a film set because there are a lot of people around.
And also a
you
lot of
can be-
women.
lot of women, lot of men, but there are like people. When I started, there were hardly any women. There used to be one woman on set, which was your hairdresser. There was never anyone else. And today, it's nice to see so many more women on a film set. Feels nicer. Unsafe in the sense, nobody is going to attack you, but and you can decide how you want to be treated, and you can make it very clear. It may not be received very well, but you can make it very clear. So I don't know if I felt unsafe, maybe uncomfortable because of the kind of, but to be very honest with you, I never saw, I find it very difficult to see separation in gender, separation in anything like religion. I can't see separation like that. I just see people and I feel like, what a terrible human being. I never saw it. I didn't know that it was, it was a gender separation or anything. So my mind didn't work like that. I was just dealing with people. I was telling them, listen, don't behave like this, is not correct or something. But I don't know if I felt unsafe. It was, yeah.
We cannot not talk about Idli Kadai. What does it mean? Idli Kadai means Idli shop?
Idli shop. Yeah.
Idli shop. I got it right. Idli
Yeah.
Kadai. Am I saying it right?
Idli Kadai, actually, yeah. Idli Kadai. We
Idli-
can say
Idli Kadai.
Yeah.
You know, again, you're back with Dhanush. Your fans are so excited to see you guys back after the last film, and now again, you guys have already shot. Tell me how it is, because Dhanush, is this the 4th time he's directing a film? But how was it your experience to see Dhanush as an actor, your co-actor, and then to see him as a director? How is he on set?
It's the same for me because, I mean, he's a very familiar person to me. He's my friend. So I think we are all, people who we are not, we don't stick to only one role and all that. We are very collaborative. We are all people with multiple talents. So we always contribute to everything, and so it's just a natural progression, and it didn't. I didn't see any thing like separate like that, but it's fun. Dhanush is one person who can truly see that what potential I have, and then he pushes it. You know, he pushes that limit a little bit. He always, you know, throws me in the deep. He does that all the time. With Thiruchitrambalam itself, I had to really move out of my comfort zone to play that character, because her body language and her mannerisms were, if you see, is very different from mine. And you know, I had to really come away from that and go into a different social and economic background and then kind of play her. Then in this, he pushed me even further in Idli Kadai, and he I told him this time that, you know, when you're young, you know how they teach you to swim, like they just like suddenly like push
Throw
you
you
into
in
the
the
water.
water.
And you're like then you're figuring out what to do. Like that's how I feel, you know, around him. Because, and then he said, that's because I know you can do it, like, you know. So he sees it, and then I tell him, why can't for once, you know, I do so, like I can be myself. You know, that everybody gives you that. I'm gonna give you things which, like, people will not imagine that Nithya can do this, or, you know, that they can see you like this. You know, it's gonna be something completely different. So with the Idli Kadai, he's really going. I think it's gonna be a treat for everyone. It's gonna be
Great.
what a character that's going to be. People will, I think, feel like, okay, this
Is
is
this same
something that we didn't imagine we would see her doing. Yeah.
So that will be a treat for sure.
I think it'll be a treat. Yeah, I had a interesting time shooting.
You know, I will end with this. Tell me few filmmakers or actors from any part of the country that you really want to work with.
You know, I somehow, only when this question gets asked, I think about it. Like, am I supposed to, you know, have a list or something? Never crossed my mind, to be very honest. Never crossed my mind. I do see films and I see good performances, and I feel like, wow, why can't I do something like this, or I be a part of this?
Tell me
that.
any film that you watched recently and you thought, wow, this.
Like, one film that I watched that made me feel like that was Lutera. So whenever I saw, you know, a film and I really liked it, and then I used to look, and a couple of times Vikramaditya Motwane used to come up, right? So he's one person that I was so fascinated, because for me Lutera was such a perfect film. To me it is perfection. You know, it is a complete film. And the way Sonakshi was shown, and the way she's performed, and the way she looks, it was timeless and beautiful. But there are films, so many films that, like Lunchbox, and these are all favorite films of mine that I feel, I want to do stuff like this. Why can't I be a part of stuff like this? So I do feel that, but it's not like I wouldn't name.
Of course,
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah.
But so I'm guessing to Nithya, box office numbers means nothing.
Yeah, it doesn't mean anything actually. That's the truth.
Thank you so much, Nithya. Thank you for talking to us.
Thank you. Thank you so much.